Are you ready? High voltage is upon us. Join our hosts, Chris and Sean, while they turn up the voltage.
Welcome back to Dadnarok High Voltage. This is Sean.
This is Chris.
Hey, we are back at it again here. Oh, this is Sean and Chris, not just Sean. How'd that happen? Anyway, we're here together at last.
For the first time. We've started this, so I feel like forever ago, but only about 10 months ago we found out.
Yeah, 10 months ago.
And we finally get to do a show as one, united.
Yeah, you happened to make the trip down here to old Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, yeah. Had to get down here, had to see the new house, and decided we had to see the Suicide Squad together. It was a must-see together. We had to go check it out. We did a reaction to the trailer.
Yeah.
So we figured in turn, we got to turn around and let you guys know what we thought of it. So, opening thoughts. What do you think? Without any type of spoiler.
I really enjoyed it. I remember seeing the first Suicide Squad in theaters, and I remember feeling really disappointed because I thought the characters were pretty cool. Like Will Smith was a Deadshot, I think, and it was one of Harley Quinn's first appearances. But honestly, just the story really fell through. But Chris is in Lou.
Yes.
One night only.
Yeah. Well, kind of a one-night stand.
Yeah. But yeah, I was really disappointed with the first Suicide Squad, and this one was 10 times better, I thought.
Well, I can't compare it to the first one because I heard so many bad things about the first one. I didn't bother with the first one.
Right.
This one here, I went into it with high hopes. There was a lot of great, word of mouth about it. Critics loved it. I was hoping it was going to be good.
Yeah.
And I wasn't disappointed. I'll say this without getting spoiler. I thought it was not a good movie, but it was amazing fun. It was very entertaining.
Yeah, you said as much to some folks that were waiting to go in.
Yeah. Those people waiting outside the theater saying, "Was it a good movie?" I said, "I don't know if I would say it was a good movie, but it was very entertaining. You will not be disappointed."
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would even call to say it a good movie, though. I thought it was well, here's the thing. It's not cinema. It's not The Godfather, but as far as for what it is, it was directed really well. James Gunn is an incredible director. I thought the acting was Idris Elba kind of led.
Honestly, if it wasn't for him,
the
movie would have fell flat.
Oh, for sure.
He was the one that drove the movie. Then you had Cena, I guess secondary character. King Shark. You had Harley. You had all these other characters that were basically leaning on him to carry the movie.
Yeah, no spoilers, but there's a huge cast in this movie, and it gets whittled down pretty quick.
Oh, real fast.
Yeah.
Real fast. So much I was like, oh, did we just kill the whole cast already? And there was no lack of gore.
Oh, yeah.
It was straight. You're I think in the first 5 minutes, Boomerang throws one and slices the dude straight off, and you see his head slide and brain and everything.
Yeah. It's not for the faint of heart. It definitely had it kind of reminded me of old school, high gore action movies like Predator or something.
Okay, yeah.
And it's just how Arnold would have banter with the other guys back and forth. It kind of had those vibes to it for me.
Yeah, no, it was fun. The back and forth, the vibe between all the characters, it all felt like it fit. There was I heard going into it was a lot of heart underneath everything, and you've seen that in some of the characters, which was nice.
Yeah.
But as a whole, I had a blast. I laughed out loud probably more during this movie.
Yeah, you did.
Than really any other movie.
Yeah. Just trying to think of memorable scenes. I think John Cena, every now and then he would just come at one with he was really into this character.
Oh yeah, no, he threw one-liners out left and right from the very get-go of the movie. And he was great in it. I really enjoyed his character. And I think he's very self-aware in this movie.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
He knows his role. He shuts his mouth.
He was a good side character.
Yes.
Idris Elba was kind of the anchor and almost the lead, right? And Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn had a lot to do with it, but she was more kind of a side character, which you and I agree is kind of the best place for her.
That's where I hate saying that's where she belongs.
Right.
But I feel like that's where her character is best suited.
Yeah, she's so much like a force of nature where she's just like, for her to be like the centerpiece of a story just feels a little off for me sometimes. But when she's like doing her thing and like
Just allowed to be free.
Yeah.
And like really her actions don't really lead to any real repercussions
Right.
in the movie.
You don't have to worry about Harley. If Harley's
Yeah.
going to get out of a sticky situation, like she'll be fine.
She'll make it out. Let's see here. Here's another
Yeah.
comment. Any new movie trailers before we seen it? All right. No, I mean there really wasn't any new movie trailers. I mean, we've seen what was Halloween. We had
Halloween Kills, which looks really good.
Oh, there's another one that's going to be coming out with Hugh Jackman. That
Reminiscence.
That looks really good. But I mean, there really wasn't anything new that we already didn't know about.
They showed the Batman trailer, the one that came out last year.
That was fun watching again.
On the
big screen. Yeah, it had a whole different feel to it with the tape being pulled and everything.
Right. I have a feeling. They showed a new trailer for Free Guy, or is that the name of it?
Free Guy, yeah.
Yeah, the new Ryan Reynolds movie.
I don't think it was really a new trailer, but they were plugging a movie that we know about.
But yeah, that's about it. Even though it was like 22 minutes worth of trailers, there wasn't a brand new one in sight.
I don't think we're gonna get any new trailers until Shang-Chi comes out. I think that and Venom 2. I think they're gonna be the ones that we're gonna see some new trailers.
We'll get that Spider-Man trailer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want it to drop in the Venom. I don't want to go see Venom just because I want to see Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're gonna do their own thing.
Yeah. Let's see.
Let me see. He says
really
excited about the Hugh Jackman. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that it's right down his line. And I don't know if you realized, but the actress in it is the same actress that played in The Greatest Showman, the one that was a singer.
Yeah,
I caught that pretty quickly.
I can never remember her name.
Yeah,
it's Rebecca something, but she was also in Dr. Sleep.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I was like, hold on, she looks familiar. But
I can't remember her name. But yeah, she's that, and Hugh Jackman's in it, and it looks like just like new kind of sci-fi. Like a new kind of storyline. I don't know if you guys know anything about it. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Suicide Squad itself was enjoyable. I highly recommend it. So for you, do you think it's worth going out to the theater, or should they check it out on HBO Max if they have it?
That's a really good question, because honestly, no, I'll say if you don't have to actually get into the theater, I think HBO Max is fine.
Yeah,
because I feel like it was shot. Well, we found that it was shot in IMAX, and we didn't see it in IMAX. We didn't know.
Right.
So I think if we knew, we would have went into an actual IMAX experience. But we were like, we weren't really pressed to see it.
Yeah, it was like a full 16:9 ratio, which we thought it was going to like narrow, kind of like the wide scope that movies typically have. But I guess because it was shot in IMAX, they kind of go with that 16:9 ratio. So if you watch it on HBO Max, it's probably going to take up the entirety of your TV. You're probably not going to have any black bars in the top and bottom.
Yeah.
But I think it's worth checking out whatever way you do. If you feel comfortable going to the theater, then go ahead and do it. But if you want to just stay home and if you happen to have HBO Max, then definitely watch it.
I think I'll be honest. If you are big into DC, if you're a DC person, go to the theater and see it.
Right.
But if you're on the fence and you're not quite, I didn't like the first one, DCU's letting me down. I don't know if I want to go ahead and go into theater and give them my money for another disappointment.
Yeah.
I mean, go watch it at home on HBO Max. But it was, nevertheless, I would say, like you said, check it. You can't let this one just kind of go by the wayside.
Right. Because like I said, it's 10 times better. If you saw the other Suicide Squad, this one's 10 times better.
It's funny. The people we ran into outside is like, you know what? I didn't even see that one. I was like, I just brushed that one aside. It was so much bad. By the time I would have watched, I was like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
Why waste my time on it? This one here was between, King Shark being fantastic.
Right.
I mean, those Polka Dot Man.
Polka Dot Man. Yeah.
I mean, it was just one absurd character after another. The Weasel.
Right.
I mean, it was just fun. Did anyone ask if the Weasel can swim?
I bet it's, as far as the tone, absurd is probably a good describer for it. Like if you guys know James Gunn, he did the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and you know how like kind of irreverent and goofy and kind of absurd and wacky compared to the other Marvel movies. those movies are.
Yeah.
Kind of, if you take that tone and just like crank it up a little bit, because instead of Star-Lord and we're dealing with Harley Quinn.
Yeah, Harley Quinn and Peacemaker. And,
right. And these
yeah.
characters are kind of more absurd to begin with than the Marvel characters he's played with already. So,
but I think it was very self-aware too.
Yeah.
It knew what it was. So it
Right.
didn't try to be something other than something just completely like bat crap crazy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I think that's when it succeeded the most, when it leans into that craziness, that's when I thought the movie was the best.
Yeah. So Suicide Squad review, did it get the Dadnarok seal of approval?
I think, yeah. I think it would. If you're going to, okay, let's say this. If we were in normal times, would this be something you would wait to come back out, see again in the theater, or not possibly revisit?
I'd see it once in the theater like we did. I'd probably catch it again at home whenever it was released on home video,
digital or whatever.
Yeah, but it might be a renter for me just to watch it one more time. I don't know if I would buy it.
But yes, I'm kind of the same way. I wouldn't see it in the theater. For me, to see a movie a second time in the theater, it's got to completely blow me away.
Sure, yeah.
I don't want to sink another $15 or whatever it costs on a normal day to see a movie a second time.
Yeah, it has to be that incredible theatrical experience.
Yeah,
which Dune may be, but you and I were talking about Dune.
We're worried because we purposely stayed away from all spoilers. We stayed away from numbers. We didn't want nothing to skew our opinion going into this.
For Suicide Squad.
Yeah, for Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
I mean, we didn't even look at the Rotten Tomato numbers.
Right. Yeah.
So first thing we got out after we were talking, I pulled up like the opening weekend, and it was putrid. I mean, it did worse than Space Jam did.
Right.
So I mean, we're looking at 26 and 72 worldwide.
That's not very good.
No. And that's my concern about Dune. If people they can't rely on the diehards to see it. They got to rely on people like us that don't know anything about Dune.
Right.
And I think Suicide Squad was so like focused on the people that will say it, and they weren't really, I think, where vision wasn't wide enough to hopefully draw in others.
I think, and it's kind of crazy to say, I think Suicide Squad has a more recognizable IP like these days than Dune does.
Oh yeah, by far, yeah.
Dune is a known property. It's got its diehard fan base from the original folks that read the book back in the 70s or whatever. But it's like, as far as what's kind of in the popular zeitgeist right now, what people would go to, they know Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
Yep, they know John Cena, You Can't See Me.
Right, yeah. And even the other movies, like Godzilla vs. Kong and stuff like that, like very known properties right now. Dune has a bit of a
they're already behind everything.
Yeah.
So I mean, I hope it does well because the trailer made it look super epic. So I mean, but if it comes out with numbers like this first weekend, I'm hard pressed to see them go ahead and greenlight the second movie.
They spent a lot of money on Dune.
Yeah.
A lot of money on Dune, and for them to commit to 2 more Dune movies,
I think right now it's only one. I think it's a 2-parter.
Okay,
but I think there's more stories down the road that they're hoping for.
Sure, yeah.
So I mean,
because I don't know how many. There were like maybe 5 or 6 books.
Yeah.
I don't even know, but there was definitely more than one book.
Yeah, I think this is the first. This is book 1, and they split into 2 parts.
Yeah,
but yeah, I say go see it. I enjoyed it. It sounds like Sean here enjoyed it as well. A lot of jokes. A lot is heavy, mature, like everything from the violence to the language to. It's when they say R, it's pushing that R to, I think, the extreme.
Right.
Even nowadays, I think an R, you can get an R, and we would look at it's kind of a weak R.
Yeah.
This is a heavy R.
It's a heavy R. I think this is the kind of movie that, like, if we were 12 years old, we
would try to sneak into.
Oh, we try to sneak into, and then when it came out on HBO or whatever, we'd be like, reciting lines, and
yeah.
It's got that feel to it for sure. So I think that's about it. Other than that, we've we went roller coaster riding today.
Oh
Kentucky
man,
Kingdom.
We did too, dude. We're not as young as we used to be.
We got thrown around. We're both pretty sore.
Yeah, 3 roller coasters 2 times each, and a 1-on-1 that basically scrambled our brains.
Yeah,
that may be why I was so loopy when we went and seen the movie. I don't know.
But I think that's going to do it for us here at Dadnarok. I lovingly call it Dadnarok HQ, and it's the first time here.
Yeah, right. I haven't been to headquarters until today.
Yeah. But yeah, we will be back this Friday for the Ted Lasso after show. Be sure to catch that. It'll be episode 4 of season 2.
Episode 4. And if you haven't checked out any of the other ones, we have those there. And if you can't commit to like a 30-minute show, we have shorts.
Yeah.
So there are like 3-minute clips of each show. So go ahead and check those out. And if you really like those, check out the full show. Drop comments. We are full interactive. Watch live. We love it when you watch live because we can go ahead and interact with you live, and it helps us out tremendously as well.
Absolutely. Check us out on our YouTube page if you haven't already. Like and subscribe to the channel. But for right now, I think that's it.
I think it's a good time to say thanks for watching and keep it cheesy.
See ya.